here you are.
Hope you haven't been waiting long?
Oh, long enough, but I'm glad you came.
Well, I told you I'd be here.
Yes, I know you did, but I couldn't be sure.
Don't trust me, huh?
Well, Mim, let's just say that I'm glad that your conditions for Eric didn't overrule your better judgment.
May I bring you something to drink?
Yes, I'd like a Bloody Mary, please.
I'll have the same, please.
You know, this is Lee's favorite place for lunch. Wouldn't it be something if he showed up?
You better hope he doesn't, Amber. Is that why you invited me here? Hoping Lee would show up?
Of course not.
Because I thought we settled all this before.
It was only an idle remark.
I hope so.
I'm sorry, Mother. I have no idea if Lee intends to be here or not. Honest. If you'd like to go somewhere else, that's fine with me.
No. Sit down. I'm sorry I am so sensitive.
Just relax and enjoy yourself, okay?
Before I say something that might be misinterpreted, I want to make one point very clear, and that is that your goal and mine are exactly the same. What's best for you and Eric?
Well, even if we do agree for what's best for us, I mean, Daddy, it still doesn't negate the fact that Paul has legal custody of Eric. I only have the visitation rights.
I am quite aware of that fact, ma'am.
And Paul was very generous to let Eric come over here.
Well, at least he's not a complete idiot.
Daddy, by all rights, Paul could have kept Eric in England. And by the same token, we should return him there. Honestly, the idea of enrolling him in some prep school...
Now, just a minute, ma'am. I simply wanted the boy to be with us.
Yes, but keeping my word with Paul is more important than taking advantage of him.
How would you feel if we could get custody of Eric?
How?
Well, I've got Webster and a few others working on it. They're going to try and find ways in which we might be able to renegotiate your custody rights.
Daddy, I'm sorry. It just won't work. I think we need to just accept the fact that Eric is going back to England.
That's all very well for you to say. You've got the boy with you, but what about me? Don't take Eric away from me, Mim.
Daddy, I'm not trying to do that, but you really aren't leaving me much choice. I'm not going to give up what little influence I have left as a mother.
You mean about the prep school? Forget that. I was wrong. He doesn't have to go away. He can stay right here in Kingsley with us.
No, Daddy, it's so much more than that, don't you see? The difference in our values, it's completely different.
That's because you don't understand.
I understand. I understand that Eric is a little boy, not a business tycoon. And I want him to enjoy his childhood. I want him to learn values that will remain with him the rest of his life when all else fails.
He is not going to fail, Mim.
Excuse me, sir. Are you ready to order now?
Well, now, how you doing?
Well, so far, so good.
Uh-huh. Now, this looks like a respectable morning's work.
Yeah. Listen, would you call Rogers Pharmacy and tell them I want generics for this patient?
I will. Well, how's Laurie doing?
Oh, she's doing fine. She's staying in bed most of the time with no complaints.
You're going to have a nice little healthy baby there.
Yeah, he could come along any time now.
She could.
Yeah, he could. He isn't due until the end of the month, but we've already started the countdown.
Well, now, you know, they're sending girls into space, too, now, don't forget.
I know, it's a boy.
I don't know, when a woman carries a baby that high, it's usually a girl.
Oh, come on, that's an old wives' tale.
Oh, is that a fact?
Tell him it's an old husband's tale. Maybe he'll believe you, Owen.
Besides, the heartbeat.
Oh,
Now, that's about as accurate as me saying it's gonna be a girl because my chicken laid a colored egg on the new moon.
All right, I'll tell you what. You grab a stethoscope, come over, and you listen for yourself.
I don't have to. I know it's gonna be a girl. My chicken did lay a colored egg on the new moon.
Oh, get out of here.
Excuse me, ma'am. Is Dave busy?
Nancy, Dave Phillips isn't in. He'll be back in about an hour or so.
An hour or so?
Yeah, he went to lunch, and he had some personal business to attend to.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. He's the only one I can talk to.
Very good. I'll bring our dessert tray by after your meal.
All right, thank you. Now, what was I saying?
You were saying that Eric will not fail.
Oh, yes, and that's right. As long as he gets proper direction now. Mim, the world today is a very complicated place, much more so than it's ever been. And it's very vital while he is still young that he gets a grasp of these complexities.
Daddy, I have no intention of raising my son to fail, but if he should, I...
See, that's what I'm saying. You've said it again. If he fails, I don't even consider that possibility.
Daddy, that is still a possibility. I mean, you keep trying to tell him that he is self-sufficient, that he should depend only on himself, and I don't believe that's true.
But it is true. How can you or anyone else be convinced that that neighborhood is safe? Even that house. May I remind you, it was from that house that you were kidnapped.
But that was under very extraordinary circumstances.
Well, I don't happen to think so, Mim. You know, you might very well argue because the Redlands are your friends that Mrs. Redland's house is safe. I don't think so. And even if it were, what kind of preparation does Eric have for survival? He isn't armed, he doesn't carry a knife, he doesn't even know how to defend himself.
Well, neither do I.
And what's worse, he sticks out like a sore thumb. He's got what those people want.
Daddy, you're making me very uncomfortable. Can we just please stop?
I'm sorry, Mim, we cannot. And it's for your mutual good, yours and Eric's. Now, I happen to be responsible for your welfare. And it just distresses me no end that you would reject a safe and sane environment. And rather reluctantly, may I remind you that the role of mother is relatively new to you. Basically, Helen and I raised Eric before you were separated from Paul.
Well, I must say the one member in our family who seems to be enjoying uncomplicated success is Stacy. Have you been keeping up with her articles?
When I get the chance, yeah.
Well, do you let her know?
If I think of it.
Well, I think you should show that interest. After all, she is your sister.
Speaking of interesting, I wish she could get a good look at who just came at the door.
If that is Lee, Amber, I swear...
No, certainly isn't Lee.
Kate.
Nancy, why don't you tell me what's upsetting you? Maybe I can help.
No, I can't.
Well, it might be a long time before Dave comes back.
Well, maybe I should go home and come back then.
Well, sweetheart, how about a little orange juice?
No, I don't want any orange juice. I want to see Dave, that's
Nancy,
all.
is it something physical? I'll be glad to help you.
No. Look, I think I'll go and I'll come back. I just need to see Dave.
Was she for real or was she for real?
It seems like it to me.
Ione, when Dave comes back, would you have him call her?
Yes, I will.
Do you know where she's staying now?
No, but Dave does.
Well, let's hope so.
Hello, Kate. How are you, Terry? Have you ever met my daughter, Amber?
No, I haven't. It's nice to meet you, Amber.
Nice to meet you.
Have you already had lunch?
No, we're still nursing our drinks. I'd ask you to join
Well,
us.
don't be embarrassed on my account.
Oh, I think it's a wonderful idea.
Terry?
Oh, no. Kate, we're here on business. I think we've lost our waiter. Oh, there he is.
Talk to you later, okay?
Fine, do that, Dave.
I think they make a lovely couple, don't you?
That was uncalled for, Amber.
It's just an observation. After all, I thought you and Dave were supposed to be getting back together again. But then, of course, with her medical background and all, they probably have a lot in common, wouldn't you say?
Terry, I'm glad you finally got a chance to meet Amber.
Oh, I am too. I've heard so much about her.
How can this be happening?
I don't know. But I think the simplest thing for you to do would be to go over there and explain to Kate why we're here. You can even give her the brooch that you bought for her now.
Oh, no, not in front of Amber. I can almost see the hair on her neck bristling from here.
Well, then I think you're just going to have to trust Kate's judgment.
Yes, well, I'll call her later. We're supposed to have dinner tonight anyway.
Could I see the brooch again?
Oh, sure. It's really beautiful, isn't it? I never would have been able to come up with something as beautiful without your help, Terry.
Really does suit her, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Maybe if I were in her shoes, I mean your shoes, I'd be a bit edgy, too.
Looks like he's giving her something. Jewelry, I think.
Look at the menu, Amber, and stop eavesdropping.
Mother, I'm serious.
Well, it is not your concern, and it isn't mine either.
Well, I think it should be. I mean, after all, I think your former husband, devoted former husband, is seeing another woman.
You and Mother might have had a greater influence on Eric in the past, but I am trying to be the kind of mother God intends me to be.
I didn't say you were not capable, Mim. But you're simply not adding any solidity to Eric's life. It's unsettling for a young man to be roaming all over the place.
Oh, I don't want him to be unsettled either, but I
No,
think that
you
there's...
just think your way is best no matter what the
No,
cost.
it is a matter of priorities, Daddy.
Mim, you've given him nothing but moving priorities. It's one thing for you to be flighty and impulsive, but quite another when you try and impose your lifestyle on that little boy.
That does it. I think I'd better leave.
We're not finished yet.
Wait a minute. I cannot take this kind of arguing anymore. I know I used to be irresponsible, but I have changed. And, Daddy, I'm not doing that kind of thing anymore.
You know, that's the same argument you used to use with your mother, remember?
Well, I'm not the same person anymore. Even she could see that.
Well, I don't know about your mother, but I can tell you that Mrs. Lucas is just as concerned as I am.
Mrs. Lucas, now how on earth does an outsider like her get involved in this?
Because she has an impartial point of view, that's why. Why don't you talk to her sometime?
I have talked to her quite enough, and I'm not going to sit here and listen to this any longer. I've had
Now,
quite
Mim,
enough.
Mim, don't be hasty. This is exactly what I'm talking
Forget
about.
it, Daddy. I don't want
Mim!
Hey, Mom, did you see Grandfather?
Yes, Eric.
Gosh, that was fast.
How'd it go?
It didn't go too well.
Hey, listen, Sport, why don't you make yourself scarce for a few minutes? I think your mom needs a private consultation with a whiz here, okay?
Okay. Yell when you're through.
You got it.
Thanks, sweetheart.
So tell me what happened.
Babs, I don't know what I'm going to do. Every single time Daddy opened his mouth, it was like a warning light went off in me. I finally got so upset, I just ran out of the restaurant, running into a waiter on the way out.
Oh, brother, what did I tell you?
Well, you said to watch out because Daddy would try to take Eric.
And was I right?
Yes. But I had no idea he could make me feel so worthless in the meantime.
I also said that he'd try to get his by laying a guilt trip on you. So whatever he said, you don't have to believe that.
I wonder.
Hey, come on, knock it off. You're Eric's mother. You're a terrific mom. And if you want my advice, you'll stay right here with the kid until your ex gets here. And don't let your old man anywhere near Eric.
Actually, Babs, I'm thinking of something a little more radical than that.
Like what?
I think I should take Eric and leave Kingsley.
And you better take all the medication like the doctor said, or you're going to have to deal with me. Okay?
Excuse me, Dr. Phillips has returned.
Wait a minute, I have a message for you.
Oh, what is it?
Nancy Lawson was here about an hour ago, and Dr. Martin and I both think she needs a little help.
Well, what's wrong?
Well, she wouldn't or couldn't talk to us about it. She wants to see you, Dave.
I see.
Do you know how to get in touch with her by phone?
Yes, she's staying at a hotel someplace. I have the number here.
Well, you better give it a try. She definitely seemed depressed.
Yes, and she didn't mention what it might be. Huh?
No, she just wants to talk to you.
Aren't you honored?
Mm-hmm. You know, I had my own little traumatic experience at lunch. Terry and I had just come back from picking out a gift for Kate, and who should we bump into at the Greenbrier restaurant but Amber and Kate. Yeah, there's no answer. I'll try to call later.
Well, finish telling us what happened.
That's all there was. It was bad timing.
Bad bad timing. Running into the woman of your dreams ought to be good timing any time.
Well, it should be if she doesn't get jealous.
Jealous?
Jealous? What?
Well, maybe not jealous. Suspicious?
Oh, come on. Kate knows Terry.
Yes, but not that well, Ben. And with Amber there to exploit the situation, who knows?
Well, don't you dare let that Nancy Lawson interfere with your plans tonight.
Now, don't worry, Lucille. As much as I'd like to help Nancy, Kate comes first.
Canada? Oh, what do you want to go to Canada
My
for?
mother is there.
Well, I know that, but don't you think it's a little extreme?
Babs, please. I mean, I'm trying to do the best I can. Daddy's been questioning me enough. I don't need to take it from you two.
Okay, okay.
Look, I don't mean to take it out on you. I'm just feeling pressure from all over.
Yeah, but you don't need to run away to get rid of the pressure.
Well, maybe going to Canada would be the best thing all around. I mean, my mother, she would love to see Eric, and he would love to see her, and it was probably selfish of me in the first place, not taking him up there for a visit.
Well, your father wouldn't have liked that either.
True, but I really don't care what he thinks anymore. I just want out of his reach. And we could probably stay with my mother until Paul comes. He could pick Eric up in Canada. In the meantime, it would give me a chance to think.
Gee, kiddo, I hate to see you run away. I mean, I've had to do that. I know what it's like.
Babs.
And in your situation, you don't really have to go through all that.
I know, but there is something to be said for a geographical distance. You know, Daddy's always had all this power over me, and when we're this close, I just can't handle it.
But you stood up to him so far.
I don't want to take Eric away from him. It's just that he's leaving me no other choice. He's at war with everything I believe in, and I will not allow Eric to be the next casualty.
Are you guys through?
Yes, Eric, come on down. Got some great news.
What?
How would you like to visit your grandma?
In Canada?
Okay, cancel the VFW meeting. Is that all?
Oh, add Harbor Festival 83.
Harbor Festival 83.
Yeah, that starts Friday night, but we don't have to be visible till Saturday.
You have that information on mining from the coal board?
Right here. I'll have it typed into the speech tonight.
All right, good. And how are we doing on the minorities poll?
How about a minority of one bringing good news?
Amber.
Only if it's absolutely guaranteed good.
Oh, it is.
I think she has something up her sleeve, Sebastian.
What would you say if I told you that Mother was very disappointed in love today?
Well, it doesn't sound like it's very good news to me.
Well, that depends. Disappointed in love with whom?
She and I were having lunch together at the Greenbrier, and Lady Luck just breezed our way.
What?
Dave arrived with a very eligible and very charming woman on his arm.
You're kidding.
I am not.
What's her name?
Do you know Terry Davidson?
Of course. She was at the fundraiser for Dave's clinic.
So they know each other.
Yes, they do. And you should have seen them.
Really? Well, was it business or a date?
Oh, well, if it wasn't a date, it was a pretty good imitation of one.
And what was your mother's reaction to all this?
You know, Mother, she never displays emotion, especially in public. But she was ever so slightly uncomfortable and very irritable with me. They came by our table.
Did Dave say anything?
Well, let's just say he couldn't find the words to say. In fact, he had egg all over his face.
This is fantastic.
You're right, Lady Luck indeed.
Terry Davidson made some sort of cover-up, flimsy excuse about how they were there on business, but it didn't sound very convincing.
Unbelievable.
And I also managed to keep Mother informed of every move they made at the table. After a while, it got to be funny. I don't know who looked more uncomfortable, Dave or Mother.
This could be our break late.
That's just what I was thinking.
You know, I saw Kate yesterday. You two can't imagine how perfectly this fits in with what I told her.
Yeah.
You see, she wanted to keep things at a distance. Keep working on the campaign, but very cut and dried. I told her, and I think I was right in doing so, that I didn't care whether she worked on the campaign or not.
Why?
In fact, I told her I preferred it if she wouldn't work on the campaign until she gave this business of reconciliation with Dave a fair chance. Of course, I told her that I want her to be my wife and that she could only do that if she had Dave out of her system.
Well, I'd say she took a giant step in that direction this afternoon.
Yeah.
Da 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 dee 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 da da da.
Is she home?
I think so.
Good, I think I'll call her.
Atta boy, go for it.
Do you mind? I would like a little privacy, please.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
If you need us, we'll be right out here. Go for it.
Hello?
Kate? It's Lee. Are you doing anything?
Well, at the moment, just puttering.
Would you mind if I came over?
Right now.
If possible.
Well, as I said, I'm really not too busy. Why don't I just come by the office?
Oh, no, no, no. I'm going to be in your neighborhood anyway.
What is this about, Lee?
Listen, I'll tell you when I see you.
Lee.
In about an hour.
All right.